The new Hyundai Santa Fe comes in 2 powertrain options and 2 drivetrain options, a 2.5-liter gasoline engine or this 1.6 hybrid, and front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So what sort of fuel economy can you expect in this all-wheel drive hybrid setup? Tonight we find out. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. In this test, we're going to head out on the highway and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour, to get a realistic fuel economy number for this mid-size crossover. But before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Now, I've got to say, I very much like this vehicle. I think it looks cool. I know the styling is polarizing, but I'd rather have a polarizing car than a bland car. So I think it's cool. I think the fact that you can get a good hybrid option is very nice for people, especially doing a lot more city-type driving. I like all the interior options and functionality, and I like the price. Compared to a lot of family haulers, it's not too bad. So if you do want to see more on the Santa Fe, check the link below. We've got a full review, we've got an infotainment breakdown, and a review of the Bose sound system. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's highway fuel economy test, which gives this Santa Fe 34 miles per gallon, that test only averages 48 miles per hour. We know plenty of people who like to do big miles on their car and would like to know what sort of numbers you can realistically expect here in the real world. So in order to test that out, we're going to head out on the highway and do 100 miles. We're going to come back, fill up at the same pump using the same 3-click fueling method, and get a result. Now, a few things to note for tonight. Outside temperature is going to be about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Our climate control is going to be set at 73 degrees auto. And our tire pressures are being set at the door placard 36 PSI cold. Now, I got to do these tests at night in order to eliminate traffic backups here in Southern California. So, let's jump to the gas station. We are all fueled up here at the station. Put in just over 2.5 gallons of regular gasoline. We got our trip computer reset. We're going to reset the GPS and get our climate control set. And we are ready to begin. Now we do have a few different drive modes here in the Santa Fe. We've got Eco, Sport, Snow, and My mode. Eco is essentially the default drive mode, so we're going to be doing the test in Eco. I'm going to take it nice and easy over to the highway and pick up the test from there. It's about half a mile away. Now the goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to get the best possible fuel economy for this car, but rather a realistic figure. In order to do that, we're getting up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace, and I'm going to set the cruise control at a GPS indicated 71 miles per hour. That should give us about an average of 70 over the whole test. So quiet in here. They really did a great job with the sound isolation. Getting a little bit of road noise here now on this concrete section of highway. It's looking like the speedo is reading about 1 mile per hour high, so once we get out of a little bit of this traffic, we're going to settle in at 72 miles per hour on the dash. And this comes with Hyundai's Highway Driving Assist 2, I think it's called. It's the proper terminology there, which means we have fantastic active lane keeping, and you can keep your hands off the wheel for a significant amount of time before it barks at you. So I'm very excited to get to do the test with that enabled. Other than that, let's get the sunroof closed there. Yeah, I think this is going to be a nice place to be. So we're going to continue on with the test out this Bose sound system, and catch up with you at the end. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the Hyundai Santa Fe hybrid. Decent bit lower than EPA, not terribly surprising considering this is a hybrid. It's not going to be necessarily as efficient cruising at higher speeds. You're not going to be getting the advantage of the hybrid powertrain quite so much. And this is not necessarily the most aerodynamic shape. I'm sure Hyundai has done their best to try to make it decently efficient, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of blocky. So the faster you go, you deal with the exponential nature of wind resistance, and you're just not going to have a good time. But we are on track to squeeze out about 30 miles per gallon out of this one. So that's 4 miles per gallon below the EPA, but still not a terrible figure considering the usability and utility of this vehicle. I would be curious to see how the non-hybrid would do with the 2.5 liter cruising at steady state speeds like this. But overall, outside of the fuel economy, this is a nice place to be in here. Like I said, the noise is nice, not too loud. I will say you do somewhat hear the engine singing along at 2200 RPM, as we can see on our tack shot right here. It's a little bit higher than you're going to get in a lot of modern vehicles, especially because this is only a 6-speed automatic transmission. So it's kind of stuck there, not the 8 or 10 or CVT sort of transmissions that you see in a lot of other vehicles. I will say the active lane change functionality does not work as well in here as it does with some competitors, because, like, say for example I want to change lanes right here. Just that little bit right there of help with the steering wheel canceled out the active lane change. However, if I entirely don't touch the steering wheel, it also doesn't make the lane change. So you have to, if you want to use the active lane change functionality, you have to put the signal on, give it enough time to start its own lane change, and then not hit the steering wheel too much or too little and let it continue on its way. Now, we were in a lot of the newer Mercedes products recently, and that has a very confident active lane change functionality where you turn the signal on and it pretty much gets you right over pretty confidently whether your hands are on the wheel or not. But the active lane keeping has done really well, so I've been satisfied with that, and this has been a nice place to be. So we're going to get it back to the gas pump here, fill it all the way up, and then I'm going to catch up with you in the morning and we'll crunch our final numbers. We got all fueled back up, and back here the next day breaking down the numbers, we ended up putting in a total of 3.286 gallons into the Santa Fe here. So let's crunch a few numbers. 100.3 miles traveled divided by that 3.286 is giving us, okay, just, man, you guys, people love to get so mad in the comments when I round a different direction. But, you know what? We're going up. We're doing mathematically, I should say, 30.523 miles per gallon, rounded up to give us a total of 31 miles per gallon here in the Hyundai Santa Fe. Now again, a few miles per gallon below the EPA's readout, but for a vehicle this size, you know, not the worst thing in the world. And being a hybrid, you're going to be able to see those 30 mile per gallon numbers around town as well, which for a lot of people just doing commuting or sort of parent duty, that's going to be more important. We've got a 17.7 gallon fuel tank in here, so 17.7 gallons times that 31 miles per gallon is giving you an effective highway cruising range of 540 miles here for the Santa Fe hybrid all-wheel drive. So not the most impressive number we've ever seen for a vehicle of this size, but also better than a lot of its competitors, and probably still better than what you would get out of the 2.5 liter. But what do you all think? Is that enough for this sort of boxy vehicle? I think so. There's a lot I really like about the Santa Fe, so I'd be happy enough with that. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.